Only 4 weeks ago since our good friend and fellow loose woman Lynda Bellingham lost her battle to cancer and passed away in the arms of her husband Michael. A very, very tough time for her family, obviously. But we're very pleased today to be joined by her husband Michael, or Mr. Spain, as we obviously know you here on Loose Women.
Before you put your claws into me,
as every word, as if.
I'd like to say a few things. I'd like to say thank you so much for buying our book. We are now at around about 200,000 marks being sold. And also, I'd like to thank the post office in Somerset. Of all the emails, letters, cards I've had, hundreds and hundreds, and thank you again. And the post office in Crewkerne, I've had Mr. Spain, Crewkerne, Somerset, and it's gone through my mum's letterbox.
Oh.
So, yeah.
And we had so many emails, so many calls, so many people contacting us. How much has that helped you and the boys deal with what's happening?
Just one last thing I want to say, all right? As you well know, we didn't want flowers, only family flowers. And I wanted all the money to be donated to Action Against Cancer, the lovely Professor Justin Stebbins. To this date, we've raised 100 grand.
It's all amazing, and you know, Lynda was an amazing woman, as we know, and the fact, Michael, she spoke so openly about it. Were you in agreement? I mean, obviously a terrible shock for you to hear she had cancer, and obviously she didn't talk about it in the early stages, so a lot of people didn't know she'd been ill for so long. Did you think it was the right thing for her to do,
Yes.
to be so public?
Unfortunately, at the very beginning, she wouldn't have gone public at all, but because she had a passionate woman, all right, she had no choice, because obviously all the theatres had been booked for the coming year, so it had to go public. What she didn't want to do, and I agreed with her, was there are lots of people who sit around this table or sit on a Good Morning show and talk about the cancer, be it breast, be it what. Everyone thought she had breast cancer because she was a woman. And she made the decision, no, I want to write about it. And she said, and I will do. And it's exactly what she did. Not only did she write about the cancer, she also wrote about how to die. I mean,
and you see, that is a topic that not many people actually write about.
They don't.
And I know in our own case, when Karen died, she too had started to write 2 books, actually. And I have doctors writing to me saying, it's so interesting when a person going through cancer will write about what it's like to have chemo shot through your veins or to lie under a radiotherapy table or lamp. And I think it's really valuable, because a lot of that information, unless you know what it's like to have cancer or treatment,
absolutely,
how are doctors even going to know what's that really like?
Because the day that we were told, OK, it was a beautiful summer's day, and we were in bits, and we went from what he calls himself, the lovely doctor, he called himself the the Harley Street plumber. He said, I can cut it out and join it back together again on the bow, but he said, you need to go and see Justin, because he may want to start chemo. And when we sat down with Justin, typical Lynda, she said, I don't want to be a burden, I want to die now. And Justin was like, don't be so silly, you're not going to die. He said, I can't cure you, but I think I can control it like diabetes. And she sat there and he explained for an hour what was going on, and it just went completely over Lynda's head. And then by Friday, she started chemo. And to be honest with you, the first 3 or 4 months, it was great. Everything was, you know, she was classic. I'll never forget. And she went for a scan, and we went back to talk to Justin, and there was a family at the oncology clinic, and they were in bits. I'll never forget. And it was obviously the mother, and we sat there, and we went up to see Justin, and Justin looked around and she said, Lynda, you're fine. You're absolutely... I have some bad news for some. And I looked and I went, yeah, I know who it is. And we walked out of there, and I gave her a hug and I said, we're winning. We could be doing A Passionate Woman in January. And unfortunately, come November, December time, it completely plateaued out. And then you've heard the story of what happened on December the 13th.
Michael,